Okay, good morning slash afternoon, guys. I'm a little late with this this news update, but we're going to focus this morning on the border crisis and what's happening down there. Call it a crisis or not, it's up to you. It's your call. But Cochise County Sheriff, he's saying that it seems that the southern border isn't America anymore. It's being flooded by lots and lots of migrants, people coming in from every direction down there. They're catching so many. They're encountering mass groups of people. And from Fox News is saying that that the Border Patrol can't even get the basic paperwork done with a lot of them, and they're just basically sending them north. They're, it's just a chaotic scene happening down there in the media. So reporters, we are a media station up and coming, so I definitely want to report on this. The media is being told they're not allowed on federal property down there to cover the border crossings. So that's not a good deal for America. It's not a good deal for the free press. The free press should be allowed access, especially to federal lands. It's owned by us. We actually own it as the people of the United States. It's only managed by the federal government and different agencies. So the Border Patrol is removing, journalists from this area. Not a good thing. There's 500 unaccompanied minors being encountered every day on the southern border. That's just the people they're encountering and catching. That's a lot. You figure within 4 days you're looking at 2,000 unaccompanied minors, and not to mention 4,000 people that are encountering every day that's crossing the border. Most of the border crossings are being done in areas that are not being patrolled or have cameras, and they're catching these people crossing, especially through Cochise County, wearing camouflage. And notoriously, these areas are notoriously known for drug cartel operations and activity. And from what the sheriff there said, that the majority of these people that are crossing are in full camouflage, being sold across on the other side of the border by cartels that want them to possibly bring drugs into the United States. Remember, we're in an epidemic of crystal meth, heroin, and fentanyl and other drugs, and this is the main transportation route for these activities. So America's being affected because this is a mass surge of illegal narcotics into the United States, and it's going to affect everybody, and families and addicts and people that are recovering through addiction. We don't need this on our streets. We don't need this in our country. So a lot of the migrants are not following the pandemic guidelines that were set by the Biden administration. That's going to be something big that's happening down there. There's a human price here. This is huge, huge human price for these people, and getting here and being drawn here by the Biden administration and reckless rhetoric that was said through the past year about the border and immigration. So the administration's thinking about flying immigrants to the northern border with Canada to process there. Now remember, this is only a portion of the people that are crossing the border. These people that are being apprehended are possibly going to be flown on your tax dollars with 747s or wherever they can get to fly them up there and process them through the Canadian border into the northern United States. Now think about this. So you're going to have tens of thousands processed in X amount of time flooding into the northern states. And if you're on whatever side, as far as political parties, you've just got to do your research and think some of these states were won by thousands of votes for one party. So when you're injecting 10s, 20, 30,000, 40,000, 100,000 people in to these areas along the northern border, we're not getting a true number how many people are being flown there or going to be flown there. Imagine voter age people being shoved into these areas that are rural and don't have high populations. So, just take it for what it's worth. Do your own math on that. What could possibly happen to the political landscape in these states that were won by so many votes for one party, and now they have an interjection of hundreds of thousands of people being interjected into these areas. Now, what's that going to do to the political landscape? That is something people have to realize. If you're going to do this, you got to consider, this is not orchestrated immigration. This is not people applying for citizenship and then going through the hoops and getting here legally. These are people that are just basically rushing the border, and the administration is just basically like, we're just going to do this, and just start shoving people in every direction. It's kind of like the fiat currency, $1.9 trillion, and the trillions before that was just shoved in every direction, just like every, the economy today is so bad. You people don't really get it. We took $1.9 trillion just recently and shoved it into the economy to keep it going. We have, millions of Americans out of work. There are millions of people on unemployment, millions of people being supported by the government. There's massive homeless crisis is happening in California and Oregon, Washington, and all over the country. There's a huge homeless population. There's a massive drug epidemic. There's the apartments just for the basic living for an American worker and his family that's struggling. Now you have rents as high as $1,200–1,400 just for a basic rent for an apartment for your family while you're trying to work a job that's under $15 an hour. It's astronomical. So we have to really consider if we're going to have subsidized workers in the millions and millions and millions and millions, and they're going to flood into the labor market that's already being propped up by COVID relief packages that have been passed and owed by the taxpayers, by the way. And we have a massive housing crisis because we have fiat money going every direction, being sopped up in every direction by every corporation, global corporation that's ever been known to man. And this money is being interjected into an economy that is dead. The economy crashed. The majority of people don't understand this. The COVID-19 crisis crashed the economy. It literally did. We've interjected so many trillions of dollars just to keep this boat afloat we call the American economy. And now we're going to inject millions upon millions upon millions of legal age voters, not to mention we're going to inject millions and millions and millions and millions of subsidized workers. That means their healthcare's free, their dental's free, their housing's free, schooling's free, and that's all paid for by the taxpayer. By debt dollars. These are debt dollars we have to really get settled in there. Now, the human crisis that's happening is it's astronomical. What these people are going through just to get here. What agendas are being fed? And here at 45 News Utah, I'm being fair and honest. It's not one political party or the other. This is a discussion about the humanity of this entire situation. What is drawing these people to make a 3,000-mile journey to the United States to live off the taxpayer dollar and to cost an economic crisis as it is, not to mention to disrupt our different two political party system in areas that were won by 1,000 votes, for one political party or the other. You can't interject this massive amount of people into a country that's going to vote one direction and one direction only without any idea of the political landscape. This is true. This is factual. So we really have to pay attention to what's happening here on the southern border and now what's happening on the northern border. We also are not vetting these people to see who they are. We have no idea. This could be the drug dealer or the drug cartel guys that are shooting people on the streets, that are beheading people. We have no idea who these people are. You have no idea who your neighbor's going to be. They're giving bus tickets out to people just all over the country. Who are these people? Are you willing to take the chance that you could be living next to a subsidized person that would just flooded the border, that wasn't one of the people seeking asylum, that's really, really in trouble and really needs, wants the American dream and is fleeing an economic and a physical danger to their very lives? The person that's being brought up here and being given a place to live on the taxpayer dime may not be that person. They could be the wolf in sheep's clothing. We don't know. We've been saying that for years, as cartels, drugs, and gangs explode across the United States. This is the real human price that we are paying as Americans. Not to mention we're in a crisis. We're in a national crisis. National. And with the Brazilian strain moving around through Brazil and the southern part of the world, or the Americas, it's 61% more deadly than the original strains that we've dealt with from the coronavirus. And it's more contagious. And the shots, I'm not even going to get into it. I don't want to get in trouble. But they're working. But we don't need another strain of coronavirus flooding in through our southern border and now our northern border. We don't. We don't need that. We've been through too much. We've been through enough. So here at 45 News Utah, I hope I didn't offend any of you. But I'm sorry that you're offended. But I'm not. We have to tackle these issues head on. And you need to know, because information is key. Fear is not key. You don't fear people into this, fear people into that. They need to know the information. The southern border is a disaster, a complete and utter disaster, brought on by an administration that has advocated this exact thing that's happening now. If what's being reported, 6,000 people a day are at least being known of coming across the southern border, how many other untold thousands are crossing illegally or not being detected? 10, 20,000? Do we know? Well, no, because the reporters are being banned from reporting this. The free media the free press is being stopped by an administration, which is, I don't even know how to put this. I mean, if you can't allow the media to cover what's happening, biased or not, what is happening on the southern border? Chaos, utter chaos. The sheriff down there in Cochise County is just saying it's not America anymore. This is a disaster, just a complete disaster. 500 migrants being known of just slamming the border every day. Children, undocumented children, unaccompanied children. The human price of this is huge. Admitted 4,000 adults per day that they're encountering. And it's up to 6,000. So at 45 News Utah, I'm going to explain this stuff, and I hope you guys have a great day. This is my morning cast news. I'm just basically focusing on the border right now. I will get more information up and out to you as soon as possible. Yeah, you guys have a great day. Just remember, keep trudging through, keep on your normal daily routines, and just take information for what it's worth. And you need to know about this, and I hope you guys have a great day, a great week, and I'll talk to you in a few minutes.